What's up, y'all? My name's Chris. Thank you for tuning in to Inflatable SUP Review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Body Glove Performer. Picked this board up from Costco.com. I did an unboxing video. I've had a chance to ride it. Now I'm going to do a full review. So let's get into it. So if you've watched the unboxing video, you saw the disappointment that I've had in the board so far. The board bag came with the stitching undone and just a little tug on it opened it up this far. I know Costco, I know it's good people. I know they'll make it good, but I am disappointed that the brand new board bag just, well, we'll get into it this way, I guess. And I mean, I'm not putting force into this. So, I can't give the bag any points. I did notice too, I haven't gone back and put it together, I just thought it was odd that the straps for the backpack didn't come, look at that buckle. That was a gigantic buckle. I don't have any hiking packs that have that big of a buckle on it. Maybe a little overkill. But, so the bag did not come with, it would have been nice if it had come with this already done. Well, let's get into it. We'll go in this way. Well, we'll turn it over. When I did the unboxing edit, I was packing the board back up, and I did notice that the fixed fins, this board's fins are not removable, did get in the way of closing this zipper. We'll talk more about the fixed fins as we go along. All right, a bit of a mess with the bag, but we'll press on. Get your warranty card and that information. Obviously, I'm gonna need it. Pump does come in a little mesh bag here. More on the pump in a minute. Leash. Cell phone holder. Manual pump. It's an aluminum 3-piece paddle with an oval shape. I've not had this oval shape on any paddleboard paddles before. I have used the board, and we'll talk more about that oval shape as we go along here. If you've watched the unboxing video, you know in that I mentioned that there was no glue included in the repair kit. All right, let's air it up. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I test every board to see how long it takes to inflate with the same pump. This isn't the pump that came with this board. This is actually a pump that came with another board that I bought from Costco. Last year I bought the Hyperlight Admiral, and this is the pump that comes with the Admiral. This is the pump that comes with the Body Glove. They're very similar. Why am I using this pump? I use this same pump for every video to time how long it takes to fill a board up. Set the pump to 15 PSI and go. All right, I'm going to talk more about this later, but here's our chance to hear it. This is a 2-stage pump. The Body Glove pump that comes with it, I believe, is a 1-stage pump. You hear this getting louder and louder. In a moment, it's going to switch, and it's going to go into 2nd stage, which is moving less air but pushing stronger. That is an advantage of this pump versus the Body Glove pump. That's the 2nd stage. (8 minutes 41 seconds to 15 PSI). We time every board that we test to see how long it takes to inflate, but I always do like to say, boards are different sizes, boards are different shapes, so speed to inflation is not necessarily an indicator of a positive quality or a negative quality. We have to put air in the board, so we record it. When we did the inflation time test with our standard pump, I did get to thinking about this single stage pump that comes with it. So we'll play the time lapse now. I went back and ran it with this single stage pump, and I was really surprised at how much slower this pump is compared to the Hyperlight pump from last year. All right, 15 PSI, and
Off this.
12 minutes, 11 seconds. All right, let's weigh it and torture test it. £22 and 14 ounces. $32. All right, 190 pounds. We were at 32 inches unloaded, and now 30. So the deflection is 2 inches for the flex test. See how it does in the torture test. All right, now for the torture test. We'll talk more about the fixed fins later in the review. We did have to use higher blocks than what we normally use because of the fixed fin. $31.5. All right, let's see how it does. 95 pounds, like we always do. All right, 95 and 95. It's 190. I'm stepping back slow because it feels like it's flexing a lot. Again, this is the torture test. We're trying to load the board to see how much it deflects. This is a lot of deflection. $25.5. What is that 6 inches of deflection really showing us? It's not an exact, this is not the exact physics of how water reacts pushing a board down, but it is something that we can repeat for every review to come up with how stiff is the board. 6 inches of deflection, that's the most that we've had of any board that we've reviewed. It's an 11-foot board. It is a narrower profile, but just stepping back and looking at it, it's very bananaed, it's very arched. All right, the Body Glove Performer. We've weighed it, we've flexed it, we've put it through the torture test. I've ridden it. Let's talk about the details. One thing that's just personal preference. Everybody has an opinion on the graphics. Personally, I don't like the license plate. Some other graphic would have appealed more to me on the board than a license plate. Your mileage may vary. The fixed tri-fin. I'm not a fan of this setup. I'm not a fan of these being fixed fins. If we were surfing on this board, the tri-fin setup would make sense. For a normal paddleboard environment, the way the average person is going to use this board, a single touring fin that was removable would have made more sense. I've already noticed with this board, when the kids are around and they go to step on it on the dock, and hey, watch out, don't step on the board while the fins are touching the dock, or I could see it getting damaged, not replaceable. I would have preferred to see a different fin setup. Accessories on the deck. Back here, you got a set of tie downs for a cooler. You got a leash tie down in the back. Here you've got this handle that can hold a water bottle. It's got 2 rings here, or it can hold a paddle. This is a good feature to have. I will say what I've noticed in high-end boards like the Red or a Hala is that they do everything they can for the center handle to be flush and unnoticed, so that as you're riding on the board and stepping across the board, you're not stepping on this. Personal preference, I would prefer a simple handle over this large neoprene piece with the 2 metal buckles. The cooler tie down here, I understand what it's for. I don't think the average purchaser of this board is going to have the skill and balance to go paddling with a cooler strapped to the board. I don't understand. We've got the soft touch tie downs here on the front of the board, which are nice, and we've seen on some other boards we reviewed. But here, where you're actually stepping on the board, you've got metal rings, and metal rings that aren't over on the edge, but they're really up close to where your feet are. I've noticed paddling the board, the traction pad is thin, and it's not very tacky. It doesn't stick to your feet very well. Maybe that'll break in with time as we use the board more. I do like the triple tie down here in the front. This is a nice feature, well thought out. On the front here, we do have 2 things that I've not seen before. We've got a GoPro mount and a tow mount for hooking a ski handle or a wakeboard handle to this board and pulling it behind the boat. Let's recap the Body Glove Performer. It's an 11-foot board. When I'm riding it, it feels like a smaller board. It has a narrow profile. It is a little less forgiving side to side. It is a little bit harder to ride than some of the other boards I've ridden. It's a bit narrower, and it doesn't carry its width to the back and to the front very far. It does have a nice set of accessories. I would have liked to have seen a flush handle here and not the metal loops where your feet are. I would have liked to have seen these soft touch loops. The hook on the front is cool. I don't know, we do wakeboard a lot. We do spend a lot of time in the boat. I don't know that we'll ride this on the boat. If we do, we'll get a video of it. The GoPro holder is also cool. Overall, yes, it works. I would have liked to have seen less accessories and a little bit more focus on a better pump with a deflation valve. I personally don't like the oval paddle, personal preference. But the big thing that I have to say about this one is the case. It had a small tear in it when I got it, and you saw how easy it was to dismantle. The board's got a lot of things going for it, a lot of good accessories. I would like to see the manufacturers focus on less accessories and more quality. I think that would be overall a better board to ride. Let me know what you think about it. Let's hear it in the comments below. Ask me some questions. I'll be happy to answer anything I can. I am going to try to get this warrantied out by Costco. I'm sure they'll stand behind it. But right now, I'm going to go ride this board. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, share it with others. I'm Chris. This is Inflatable SUP Review, and I'll be back here real soon with another inflatable paddleboard for us to review.